Yes, here we are, people. Another beautiful day, another moment more to continue with our efforts. Another occasion. Holy fucking shit! Shut up, my man. Thank you. Yeah, basically, here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Let's say that we are finally here. And well, it seems we have audio. And yeah, before you fucking stop working, let me get your message already here. Fucking bots. What is your problem, strain elements? Let me try the same shit again. What is your problem? Can I do this? Okay. Can I do this? Okay. Thank you. Thank you, stream elements. Thank God it works. Anyways, do we have audio? Yeah, we should have audio, no? It sounds kind of weird, the audio. I think. I don't know. Anyways, I mean, I still haven't gotten accustomed to this. So, anyways, here we are. We have to continue a little bit more with our art. We have to keep progressing in the projects of the artistic endeavor, as they will say. So yeah, here we are. Basically, give me a second. But well, before doing that, sorry for forgetting. Welcome everybody, welcome every single one who is present at this moment, all of those lurkers, but watchers, every single one. Where we have the bot working somehow, so we are incredibly fine on that sense. Well, aside from that, so far, I think we can really just start. I don't have that much more to add. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Let us simply transition. Okay, here we are. Welcome everybody. Haha. What? My man, I almost died. Oh man, you really can't see the things over here because they are so little that you. Oh man, you really can't see it. But oh my god, for a moment I thought that we lost like the amount of hours that I use on this stuff last stream. Completely lost into the void of darkness that decided to consume everything that I tried to make over here. But it seems it didn't happen, so anyways, we're fine. Oh man. Oh, for a second I almost was going to get angry, but anyways, here we are. Well, so far I have been trying to think a little bit and trying to come up with different topics, with different ideas and so on. And yeah, the first one, or the first thing that I would like to say is, I don't know how can somebody constantly keep coming up with truly different variations of their ideas and so on. I mean, I see it as somehow it happens that we have the capacity of being consistent with what we do, let's say. Still, in my personal case, I see it as kind of hard because I can't in any way whatsoever truly focus my mind. I will guess. I don't know. I tend to not make it so personal as I don't think it is necessary for what I am talking about most of the time, but yeah, in this case I really need to say it as yeah, I have a little bit of a hard time, truly thinking about what I am talking about and similar, when, at least in these cases, as I have exhausted my imagination, as they would say, and I don't know, I don't think it is that bad, but simply it happens that we are running low on battery on some senses, but anyways, aside from that, we are doing incredibly great. I mean, gratefulness is a very big tool, let's say like that. Let's preface this with greatness is an incredibly amazing tool. It might as well be the most amazing thing that we can have in life. I will try to guess. I am still trying to tie my head around the concept of what it represents to be happy with what one has, and what it represents to find comforts on the different things that they have. You hear from so many places and from so many sides how incredibly nice it is to see things and to notice what you have and to be aware about all of the things that make you who you are, and all of those different in some cases motivational concepts, in some others simply realistical concepts, because at the end of the day, I don't think it is true that, for example, I have an incredibly gifted life in some senses, and being reminded that it is almost necessary to pay attention to that feels not that feels nice to know that you're lacking on remembering what you have, but rather it feels nice to go back to it and to observe how much of a beauty it was always. And I don't know, in that same sense, it is that also I say it feels bad because it truly does, to realize that sometimes you had something precious or so incredibly precious, and you didn't even have the chance of admiring what it was, but you decided instead to focus your mind on something so utterly different. You almost destroyed your chance of enjoying that particular thing. And I don't know, nowadays I think most of the time we have people who is constantly reminding others about the importance of this concept itself, no matter in which way it is that it is done. But simply it happens that we are predicating. I guess, yeah, predicating isn't negative. I think I already searched that word and found that it isn't religious at all. So yeah, we found that nowadays it is more predicated, the concept of, be grateful for what you have, be grateful for what you see, for what you experience, for what you can notice that is surrounding you, for what different things that you can go through in your daily life, for all of the things that you unconsciously get gifted from others, or that yourself you're being given without any intention whatsoever behind of them, because people simply likes what you do, because people simply wants to see you do well. And I mean, in that same sense, it is also that it becomes kind of sad to realize that most of the time we end up also becoming our biggest enemies in that realm of comprehension, I will say, because I wouldn't want to word it so negatively, but sadly, it happens that we truly end up being clouded by things that have no relationship whatsoever to what might as well be the biggest thing that give us the possibility of being happy in any way, and we also don't have the chance of being and to enjoy all of the things that make us be what we are. And I mean, the problem is it feels bad to try and talk about anything like that, because there is literally nobody who hasn't done something like this at some point in their lives, and to try and predicate a message without being somebody who properly practiced that is as meaningless as it gets, I think. But I don't know. I can simply at the very least talk about the perception of how being grateful, when I had the possibility of being conscious about what it was that I had, end up liberating the mind and end up liberating you from the shackle that is to be constantly worried about everything, Because in an even deeper level, gratefulness is truly the most satisfying part of this whole thing, I will say. And not for the sake of saying it, but rather because you can, when you practice that, it is that you can see truly how many things are going well. And I don't know, it never stops feeling weird. It never stops having a kind of dark sense behind it. Because you also have to take into account that some people already lost so much time not even having the possibility of considering something like feeling gratefulness for what they have, that they ended up taking the worst type of path possible. The one where the only solution was somehow to end it all, let's say. Because I I do not think it is the only solution that you can have to depression, or the only solution that you can have to anything minimally similar to being sad about life. There are an endless amount of solutions to that particular problem, But at the very least, to say that by trying to practice something of this sort, you get not so affected by everything else, is to try and say something real. And it's also to try and say something minimally meaningful. Because, I don't know, this sadness that gets created from noticing that in so many occasions we have already failed, and in so many occasions we have already spent our energies on things that might as well not have been in any way whatsoever beneficial, is incredibly depressing, and I will say. And I don't know, one must constantly try to do their best, and but one must also try to constantly try to keep a smile on their face, no? And I don't know. It isn't that one isn't being affected by what happens, but rather than one can see it all still happening, and although you see it, you decide to allow it to be, and you focus only on the things that really matter to you. Because also you know that what you have now is more important than sometimes what you could wish for the rest of your life, and what you could desire for the rest of your existence. As I think it comes from the experience. Sadly, I don't have it, but also you can see the more you grow that the less things you really wanted to have. You never truly had an interest sometimes over getting any particular object. You only thought it was necessary to have it in your life because people decided to say that it was necessary in some way. You never really had an intention over getting it. You never really had an intention over being happy, you know. Hello, Klondike. Hello. Hello. Welcome. I don't know. I think I'm getting kind of depressed. So, I am losing my fucking sanity over here. Hello, my man. Welcome, Klondike. I hope you're having a great day. So yeah, here we are, progressing with this particular work. Okay, let me try to talk about this. I had been thinking about adding some stuff like unintended pixel, like let's say something minimally similar to a type of stair or ladder, sorry, those that go on the sides of the buildings, but I think I don't have the possibility of doing something like that. Or at the very least, I can try to do it, but only on this space. So yeah, that is what I have been thinking about so far, doing it over here. But yeah, I don't know. I think I might not have the real chance of doing something like that, as it also sadly happens that I might have not properly measured anything at all. So yeah, I might have failed in that sense, but I don't know. I don't really know. At the very least, we are progressing with this, you know. And well, I was going to say also Klondike, sorry, Klondike. Do you see that thing that happened? That literally means nothing. That literally means nothing. But I was saying, we have. Wait. Give me a second. Can I do something like this? Can I do something like? I mean, I think it is still necessary. It is something rather positive, you know, to try and do at the very least the bare minimum. That is this basically. Let me. I think it is like that. Let me check. Yeah. I love having fucking memory, fucking functional memory. There it is. Quality content. Basically, that was what I was trying to say happened, you know. And yeah, very nice, I guess. After so long, seeing it finally being a reality feels very nice, I will say. I mean, at the end of the day, to work and to see somebody doing what they want is very, very interesting. Yeah, 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 Klondike. That was what I was trying to talk about. But you know the stuff as to why sometimes we can't be so direct. So yeah, basically that's my man. Very, very nice. Finally went live, So well, basically that. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I might as well simply continue with what I was saying before. It might be negative, and what? It already finished? No. Well, I mean, kind of deserved. At the end of the day, she went for 2 hours or so. So yeah, I mean, you will have the possibility of catching probably the next one. At the end of the day, tubers is a constant thing. What the fuck is this? What is this angle, my man? What the fuck? How do I do this? Let me something like this. What the fuck are these angles? Oh man, I think something like this. Give me a second. Give me a second. Yes. Okay, there it is. Yeah. Okay, very fun. Oh man, I fucking hate when I make lines so wrong. But anyways, I was trying to say sorry. Yeah, you will probably catch the next one. Don't worry so much, my man. At the end of the day, things keep happening all the time. So yeah. And also, don't be so harsh on yourself, my man. It simply happens. I mean, I wish I could have the possibility of watching literally everyone all of the time, but it's physically impossible, sadly. I wish we could get on internet and turn off the rest of the body or something like that, but at least so far we don't have that possibility, sadly. So yeah, we have to live in reality still. Or something of that sort. But yeah, I was okay. Then I guess I will have to continue with what I was saying before. Sorry if it is too negative. I don't think it is negative. I still think it is only the truth, and I also try to talk about it because it is one of the few things that are always nice to remember. And that was, my man, how incredibly crazy it is to be grateful, and how incredibly powerful it is to have a constant reminder about all of the things. 3-point perspective. Yeah. I mean, the problem itself is I forgot to do it, and now I am already too deep into it. And also, I don't have any particular tool to do proper lines. So even if I were to do them by hand or by utilizing the line tool itself, different things. If I were to do line tool, I wouldn't feel nice because I think it is necessary to draw lines by hand, But if it isn't like that, I don't have a tablet nor a mouse. So yeah, I am a little bit in pain, my man. But yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm going to do that much art. I simply decided to do this in particular because I wanted to have it. Yeah. Thank you, my main Klondike. Thank you. And well, now let us properly start with the topic at hand. That was gratefulness. To be grateful and to have the possibility of shining in life. Because to a degree, I think gratefulness is one of the best tools that we can see and that we can harness. I mean, the problem is it needs to be constantly reminded to us, as we tend to forget about it, and as even more we tend to not even realize how necessary it is to have in our constant life, let's say. Because I wouldn't say simply sadly, as it boils it down to something much more simple than what it really is. The quality of feeling and the quality of realizing how much good things are happening or how many good things are happening around of us is what always feels nice, and what also might as well give us the possibility of, to a certain degree, smiling, I would say. I haven't seen other ways so far with which we can be happy, let's say. Not because we really can't find happiness on other things, but rather because it is only when you see how many good things are happening around you that you can really say, I am enjoying this. I don't think you can't experience, let's say, happiness simply by believing about success, or by thinking about wishes, or by thinking about any other particular type of concept. I don't know. Gratefulness is weird, I will also say. At the end of the day, it's not always intuitive for creatures who only recently came to live in a world of abundance. Yeah, completely true, my man. And sadly, it also happens that, I mean, it is not only something not intuitive, it happens that, I don't know if it is that we have no predisposition for it, or simply that we might as well not have that much of a chance over creating something of that sort out of nowhere all of the time. I mean, you need to really have the capacity of appreciating all of the things that make you be who you are, or make your reality be what it is, and give you the chance that you have always been wishing for. As, in a sense, all of the things that one might admire can't be properly admired simply by thinking about them. You can simply see and realize how great something is for the sake of doing it, or for the sake of trying to be nice about something. You need to probably get told how gratefulness works, and how it can also be utilized. And it is then that you can properly start to utilize it in any particular way, And it is then that you can start to be and to find yourself surrounded by more and more gratefulness. Because at the end of the day, that is the point of this, to be grateful and to avoid things like sadness, because you decided to almost sway yourself toward things that you might have as well have never wanted, or might have as well, sorry, never really needed. Because it also happens that sadly in life we have so many problems all of the time that we end up forgetting sometimes we don't really need that much to be happy. And sometimes, I don't know, it is incredibly weird, and it is also incredibly hard to talk about it, because it can only be said from the perspective of the one who is, let's say, experiencing something like it. It is terrifying, but it was done by me, so. But also, hello, Shin. Here we are, doing quote unquote art. Sorry for slandering your professional man, but I had something to do. But I mean, this is also the original PNG, so it is still hold very dear in the potato heart. So yeah, here we are. But as I was trying to say, no, wait. I hope you're doing very great, my man Chin. I hope you're doing great, and I hope you can keep doing great also. So yeah, now sorry, going back into what I was saying. I think it is very weird and complex to try and have a proper understanding of what gratefulness means, because you can't really experience anything like that in your, not in your life as if you weren't capable of doing it, but rather you need to see something that you yourself can truly identify as something that you can say, I thank everything that happened for this to exist, or I am thankful for this particular thing to be real, And I will simply say, at the very least, doing it from a place of real wish and from a place of real desire is what makes it worth, and what makes it also function as, to a degree. It happens that, yeah, we go back to what I was saying. We don't have the proper understanding as to why it is necessary. In so many cases, until it is too fucking late, and until we end up losing what we could have had the chance of properly admiring, let's say, and when we could have had the chance of properly letting those who were around us know how precious they were to us and how beautiful it was to have the chance of sharing something with them. Because fucking it also happens that you can see it in your own eyes and you can experience it and you can tell others how it feels, but you yourself can truly make anybody really feel gratefulness, because it only is born from a real place of great, of being grateful, of truly observing all of what is your existence and finding it nice and finding it more than a reason to keep saying thanks, you know? And the problem is also, we don't even try to say it anymore. Sometimes we end up believing that it isn't necessary to say, that it is almost a given that when somebody does something good for you, you have no necessity whatsoever of saying thanks, you know, my man? And I don't know, it feels sad and it feels incredibly shattering sometimes to see it happening, because they are fucking words, man. They are something so simple to give and something so simple to do for others that you really can't replace what the act itself of gratefulness means and represents for the rest. But I don't know, man. At the very least, where we have some people who's doing great, not everybody is doing bad, and not everybody is even close to not having the possibility of admiring what makes their lives great. So it will be a lie to say that no, every single one of us humans is incorrect over this and is going to find themselves pained by this thing that they are lacking. No, no, no. Not every single one. There are some people who is doing very great, and trying to be one of those is also more than worthy, you know? Trying to be on that tiny, imperceptible list of those who can, on a daily basis, practice gratefulness, if is probably, I won't even try to lie, one of the hardest things to do while being alive, you know? Because you literally have no reason to do so. You have no motive to try and say thanks. At the end of the day, what really might make you do it, if you don't believe that it is necessary to be nice to who you have next to you, and to who is sharing so many moments with you, and to who is deciding to give part of their life to you for the sake of your well-being. As in a sense, in an even deeper sense, we are still working every single day as a society, and we are still striving every single day for the sake of achieving something that sometimes is almost impossible to describe, the unending dream that has been created since the first day that an idea appeared in the mind of the first human, let's say, whoever it was, and in whichever way it happened. But simply trying to be like that, and trying to stay nice, and trying to stay hopeful no matter what, is crazy, you know? Not crazy in the sense of, wow, this is impossible. Crazy in the sense of how much it gives to you, and how much it shows you what is capable of doing a human, and what is really a capacity that we hold inside of ourselves, the one to wish, and the one of desiring for anything. Because, I don't know, it is incredibly weird to realize that sometimes simply noticing how you can stay focus on anything and stay nicely oriented towards a goal is more than enough for you to keep existing. But I don't know. I was thinking at first, or when I started, let's say, the potato that ended up making me be the potato, the journey that ended making me be the potato that I am, sorry. That particular journey, I really thought we didn't have that many people saying anything minimally similar to that, to what I am trying to say now. But after so many hours, you end up getting astounded by how many people repeat the fucking same thing, and we still can't properly apply it as a whole society, and we are still struggling, and we are still believing that there is no tool like that, and that it has no proper capacity of doing anything for anybody in our lives, when in reality it might as well be one of the most precious gifts that we have. Because I won't even try to say by any type of religion I believe that we have the gift of life itself. By whatever the fuck you want to get it, you are alive here. And to having the chance of enjoying something like this moment is something that might as well be properly done, and might as well be incredibly and so nicely enjoyed that you can't regret even the darkest of the moments. Because it also happens that, for example, I don't know where it happens. We tell each other it is necessary to think that life isn't composed of happy moments, of instances where you're going to be overshadowed by everything. But also we forget to tell that, yeah, in some instances you're going to see so many darkness and so many sad things that it unavoidably will make you feel like it had no meaning whatsoever. But to, even in those moments, remind the possibility that you can always have about focusing and about deciding to stay dreaming about something is, I don't know. I don't think it is simply sad. It is crazy to see that we forget to do it, and we forget to tell each other how necessary it is to be in a state like that, and we believe that it has no necessity whatsoever of existing a state of gratefulness, and we believe that you can live your whole life being angry at whatever others did. You can live a life being completely overtaken by negative emotions, as if that were to really get you anywhere. When you, every single day, sadly, you might as well be killing yourself by deciding to feed the one and only mind that you have those negative things, let's say, whatever type of thing they are, those incredibly negative things. And I don't know, at the very least, I will try to repeat, we have people trying to talk about it, and we have people trying to properly put more information out there for others to see, and we can even more see that, I don't know, we're getting somewhere, I will guess. But on the contrary, you also have to face the numbers, and you also have to face the reality itself, and you also have to face the whole state of the world. We are not doing as great as we could be doing, you know? And to try and believe, to try and tell others that, you know, we're on our highest is a fucking lie, my man. We could be so much greater that it will still not even be imaginable for us. But I don't know. I don't think it is necessary to say it as if we were doing bad. Simply, we can be doing better. And because of that, it is also necessary to stay believing on whatever it is that one decided to believe. Finding hope every single day, as it is possible to do, and as it is also necessary to do. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Hmm? It is hard. I think that to remain in a state like that takes a certain amount of conviction and bravery that not everyone is willing to give, sadly. Support and spreading the good word is the best we can do. I think you're doing a good job in that regard as well. I'm sure some are thankful for it. I, I, I don't know. I wish, I, I wish it was like that, and I wish I, I have the possibility of doing something like that for real, you know. But I don't know. Give me a second because this is too fucking emotional. Let me drink water so that I can relax a little bit. Let's say like this, man. You know, you have the possibility of talking about what you experience, and what I am doing here is almost being dishonest myself because I wish I was capable every single day of reminding what is the most important thing nowadays and what is the most nice thing that I have in my hands. But instead, I decide to sometimes preach about problems that I still deal with myself, you know, and I haven't even removed from my life. So yeah, I I don't know. As even if that were to be real, and even if those things happen almost on a daily basis, if I were, let's say like this, when all of this reaches an ending point, something that is inevitably going to happen sooner or later, let's do our best to make it last as long as it can. Whenever that happens, I wish to see that somebody truly has the capacity of saying, yes, this was something that I am thankful for. But I don't know, I don't see it as, I wouldn't say we're even close to being satisfied yet with this. It can be so much more greater than what it already is that we might as well keep wishing for it to be even more than what it already is, as it deserves to be properly formed into something even bigger, you know? And to be properly created and shaped into something that even more people can enjoy in the future. And it is the craziest thing to say it, but it is also a wish of mine to say, to try and show that it is possible to let it be existing through more time than what it might be my own life, if it is possible. But I don't know, crazy thing to see, my man. Very crazy thing to see, and even more crazy that I was able to not cry. Very nice. I mean, some tears appeared, but I was capable of not completely crying so much as I thought I was going to do. I mean, it is still a completely hard topic for me, you know. Like you said before, experience makes you a good authority on it as anyone. I mean, I I don't know. I don't know. I think it does, yeah. But at the same time, I wish there was something more proper. Me here, not me talking about this, you know. But I don't know. At the very least, until that person exists in this world, here we are doing it daily, daily if it is possible. You know. So well, very nice, very nice. And well, I don't know, I don't know. Crying, wow, what a nice thing it is. I mean, how to not be sentimental, you know? Because to talk about not being grateful is to finally go back and remind the occasions in which that happened in the life of oneself. Because When, in that sense, it is completely true what you said. You talk only from experience, and you need to predicate with example. And in my case, I fucking wish every single day I was more grateful than what I ended up being, you know? But yeah, I don't know. Very crazy. Ah, fuck. Let me drink water for a second time in a row. Fuck. Here we are. Sorry for that. I don't know. My man. We are doing fine. I think. At the very least, I mean, to try and believe that we're not doing fine is also a fucking lie, you know? To be in such a place, to be having so many enjoyment, and to have also so many things going so incredibly well is mind blowing almost. You know, to try and say that we're not doing fine is to directly lie, my man. One shouldn't compare themselves to others, you know? That is also fucking true. It literally brings no benefit to the soul. That I can say it without believing it to be a joke. But it also allows you to see sometimes that you might as well not be dealing with something so bad as other people, you know? And in those occasions, it is that you might as well keep finding hope every single one of the days, that you have to keep going forward. And I don't know. At the very least, here we are, progressing, let's say. Welcome, Masurok. Welcome. I don't know. Here we are at the very least. Here we are, another day, progressing on something, and trying to say anything that might as well be beneficial to the mind, instead of deciding to corrupt what little we truly have and what little we can truly do, you know? Yeah. I mean, who doesn't want to do something like that, you know? I will guess probably in that sense, I can understand the idea of to reconcile oneself with their past and to accept that things happen and that those things were part of the process itself of being alive, as one will say, because sadly it happens that we end up committing so many errors, and the first thing is to accept that they happen and to accept that we need to be capable not of trying to obtain other people forgiveness, but to be capable of forgiving ourselves, you know? And in that sense, it is that also. I mean, the problem is words make it look the easiest thing, when in reality it is as hard as it gets to believe that it was a necessary thing and to not see it as only the negative is hard. But at the very least, the knowledge that by appreciating things like that, one can keep striving for their goals instead of deciding to bring themselves down for such type of errors is amazing and is incredibly beneficial for the sake of doing something as minimally good as that. Because I mean, I don't know. It is the unending wheel of, you know, you see that you are doing bad and you think that it is necessary for you to be negative with you, when in reality you literally are your only companion. Why would you try to do something like that? Why would you try to harshly treat what you really are going to have for the whole existence of yours? The rest is something that might as well disappear at some point or another. But you, it is another one of those things that gets lost in the way of saying, yeah, things happen, my man, but you might as well try to treat yourself with proper, I don't know if it is respect, if it is love, whatever you want to say, whichever definition suits to the understanding itself of the importance that it has to integrate that into life and to allow it to keep existing instead of destroying the little things that we have and the little things that make us be who we are. And I don't know, I wouldn't have even the slightest wish to see somebody believing that all of this was a reprimand, you know? It is, once again, it is only born from a place of, it happens to everyone, man. It happens literally to everybody. And to see it happening is to see that one still has to deal with it. And although we fail some occasions, to try and stay hopeful is the most necessary thing. To believe that it doesn't need to happen and to believe that it doesn't need to keep existing is probably one of the biggest errors that we can commit as long as we're here, you know? And I don't know. We are doing great. We're doing incredibly great. Let's say like that. And we should keep trying our best to, no matter what happens, still do our best. Because, I mean, that is also the point. You have so many reasons to try and do great. And you, 99% of the time, you don't even need to get told why it is that you should focus on them. It is literally unnecessary for somebody to try and tell you that. You already know it. And to believe that you don't have a necessity or anything like that, to believe that you are somebody who is somehow above of this type of concepts, is to literally lie to yourself and to decide to cut off the little possibilities of truly surviving in this world, where things never get easier, problems never disappear, and the struggle is until we meet or end unending. But I don't know. We are, as I said before, at the very least, the possibility of trying to remember something like that is the most beautiful thing. And the possibility of trying to remember and to see it happening is once again the biggest gift possible, you know? No matter where it fucking comes from, do not try to put words into anyone's mouth. No matter where it fucking comes from. This gift is still the most precious one. And yeah, I think with that, I don't know. I might as well want to stop fucking crying also. So we might as well change topics. You know? Ah, man. I don't know how much I have been talking already. Let me see. It felt like a fucking eternity. Only 50 minutes. Nice. Very nice. Very, very nice. My man. Oh, man. Okay. Well, life, huh? What a crazy thing it is to be alive, you know? What a crazy thing it is to be alive. Water. Also, what a nice thing it is to stay hydrated. I mean, I don't know. It isn't to try and... I don't know. I try to not think about it as letting it out, rather as I try to say, to constantly remind the necessity of that, you know? To see it all, once again, as the great thing that it is, and to appreciate it for what it really is. Because the unending gift of being here every other moment is as precious as it gets. I say, and I believe it. So yeah, I mean, very nice, very nice. My man. Also, life, huh? Crazy, you know? I don't know. In that same topic, I think it is kind of crazy also to see people who doesn't believe that it is necessary to have things like that But I mean, sadly, it doesn't happen that it is crazy. Wow, they have another solution. Sadly, you have to deal with the consequence of you as somebody who believes in this type of concepts, realizing how much they are destroying their lives, you know? And at the very least, one good type of lie that you can try to tell yourself is they quote unquote know what they are doing. But you, I mean, can I fucking stop? You know that they are not conscious about what they are doing, my man. You know that they are not. Um, what the fuck is going to happen today? Man, yeah, I don't know. Crazy. I guess cats might bring something different. Uh, fucking god. Yeah. Fucking crying, you know? Yeah. I don't know. Happiness. Being happy pill. The maximum amount of happiness achievable in life, basically. Or something like that. I don't know. Wow. I mean, ah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think we're doing great. That is all I can. I will try to say, and if I say more, I know that I'm going to fucking keep crying. Yeah. I don't know. We're doing fine. We're doing fine. We're doing fine, man. And therefore, we might as well keep doing fine. But yeah, give me some time to change topics. I might as well, yeah, not to keep crying. So yeah, let me try to see something different to talk about in the meanwhile. Man, what a crazy thing, huh? What? Wait. Yeah, it is literally Monday, my man. It is still fucking Monday. What a crazy week, huh? it is still Monday. Why it is Monday? I love time dilation. I love I love to live in a wormhole or something of that sort. Why is time moving at the pace that it is moving? Why can it go faster? Make it go faster. I don't know. I mean, that is very crazy. I will say. I I truly don't see how people doesn't find it interesting to try and have as much time dilations as they can. I will probably guess that it doesn't really get talked about because it might be too much of a schizo topic, let's say. And that is why people believes that it doesn't happen like that, or that it can't happen first and foremost. I mean, yeah, in a sense, I am losing my composure. On the other, I mean, I don't know. At the very least, it is literally happening because of good things and nothing else. Literally, it is being happy. So much happiness, that type of happiness that everybody wants. The one that makes you fucking cry because of you are happy. That is the type of happiness that we are, or that is the type of composure that we are losing to it, you know? I don't know. It is still wonderful to see everything happening. And it will keep being wonderful, I mean. I don't know. Make it fucking stop. Please. But yeah, going back into the topic itself, because let me change my mind. I think it happens that sometimes we forget about the concept itself of time dilations and the whole thing that is to be in a bubble and to live in a completely almost different reality. Because I don't know if it can't happen to anybody. I guess it can. I will believe that it can for the sake of maintaining that hope in everything. That it can happen and that we can be believing that we are getting or not getting, as in we're going to completely get them. Rather, we are always going to see all of those things happening in life, let's say. And yeah, I mean, it is very very nice to have stuff like that happening constantly, to find yourself having spent so much time, or what felt like so much time, on something that really was hours, let's say. I mean, probably, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it comes from a place of simple enjoyment, as it supposedly happens that in some cases, not in some cases, in the vast majority of them, when you're enjoying something, you supposedly have time going faster for you, because your mind changes the whole narrative to make that time feel shorter. Or not that it makes it change, sorry, completely wrong concept here. It makes it makes you be so euphoric that your heartbeat accelerates, and that so many things start to feel so rapidly happening that therefore your own time perception accelerates too. So, or well, not your own time perception, rather the opposite. You you go through time faster, let's say like that, because all of the things that you're experiencing. But I don't know, very very crazy still to be happy, to be happy max, as one will say. But yeah, very very fine still, very fucking fine. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, can we talk about something else? Because I know that if I keep talking about happening, we're going once again to hear me fucking cry. Please make it stop, please. I don't know. Haha, what a Monday, huh? That is only the only thing that I can think about aside from that. Yeah, right now. What a Monday, huh? Why it is only Monday, man? Why it is only Monday? I don't know. The potato project, basically. Yeah, sanity. What a nice thing to have. Those Mets. Love the Mets, maybe love Mets. Yeah, the Mets. You must love the Mets. Yeah. The Mets. What about the Mets? Love the Mets. Yeah. Memes. What a nice thing. Also, I mean, no. Yeah. I think I am too positive or something like that, because I was going to say what a nice thing it is to have memes. Another way to stay happy. Okay. Yeah, I think I brain broke finally after how many? Let me check that. After 221 streams, it finally happened. Twitch broke the fucking potato today. Man. But yeah, memes. I don't know. My man, what the fuck is this? This is completely unwatchable right now. This is completely nonsense, you know? Man. I don't know. But doing fine, I guess. Yeah, I guess. I would guess. I mean, what overwhelmingly doing fine, or something like that. Yes, it did happen. We have happiness. What a bliss it is to be happy. My man, I don't know. Overshowing. Man. Yeah. I don't know. All I can say is probably tomorrow I am going to be completely dry out. All of those beautiful brain juices are going to be extracted completely today. Probably. as it tends to happen with anybody, that they go through so much stuff that they end up getting empty for the next day. But I don't know. I mean, being happy is still nice. Um, Fucking shut up, alright. About being happy. Shut up. Anyways, I don't know. Here we are. Here we are. Still progressing with this. I think, yeah. I am surprised that I was capable of progressing with all of these piece, whatever it is, artistical or not, real or not. We're progressing and we're getting somewhere, as they would say. So very, very nice to see that. And very nice even more to see. I mean, so far I think the only problem is I made the sky look so incredibly great that everything else looks not even close to it, to the quality that the sky itself has. I mean, okay, let me say like this. Probably I wasn't even expecting to make such a nice sky. That is why it looks so good. Because, yeah, basically that. It has so many different details, so many good things, and so many beautiful parts that it is weird to see it be like it is. I don't know, I don't know. At the very least, it looks fine. And at the very least, we have it looking properly good, I will say. But yeah, I don't know, I don't know. I don't know, I am struggling trying to change topics. Yeah, let me. I don't know, man. Can we try to take out something negative? I don't know. Fighting, huh? What a nice thing it is. Okay, yeah. Let me try to go for something like that instead. I see it being very interesting what the thing itself of fighting is. I mean, to a certain degree, to exert yourself and to physically liberate so many things as it the act itself of fighting does to the brain is very I wouldn't say incomparable to everything else, but it is nice to have it. And it is nice to see how you can properly do the act itself of fighting in a proper way, in which you don't get completely destroyed. I will hope for something like different ways to do it, to get created so that we don't get killed and we don't kill one another also, as it sadly happens nowadays, still. But there are some positive things about doing it. But yeah, sorry. Yes, I think it looks, in my sense, I see it as looking incredibly nice. I mean, not to say that I did something nice and to flatter myself, but rather, yeah, kind of the opposite. I wouldn't have ever expected to do something as good looking as this. And to a certain degree, I will say it is kind of sad to see and to realize that I am going to probably take it apart and to destroy it with all of these creations over here. But anyways, we will continue anyways with whatever this building is. So well, I don't know. I don't know where we are. Yeah, I was trying to talk about fighting. Yeah, to take my mind to the other place. It happens that fighting has also one of the most interesting components, that is to playfully do harm to others, because to a certain degree, I think it is necessary for every single animal to engage in activities like that, let's say, because by doing this type of actions, it is that you can establish proper ways in which all the different societies, let's say, not societies, sorry, all the different individuals might come across different states of hurting and similar. They are just so close to the other color. Let me see. Okay, there it is. And all of those things end up being interesting because even more by having stuff like that happening and consistently existing, it is that you can even more, in those cases, properly say and see and realize that they end up being beneficial for everybody. Let's say, because I mean, in an even deeper level, even kids need to fight in a sense of playfully fight. That is the proper word. Playfully fight. I wouldn't know if it is that good to have people competing against one another, as I wouldn't believe that encouraging people almost to go and kill others is good, but to allow different kind of humans to engage in this type of activity in a more playful manner, it might as well be beneficial, because I mean, to allow people to experience stuff like that is also to give them a real taste of the world. Not in the sense of, wow, we are going to fight with others, but rather you allow them to experience one of the most real things that exist in life, that is pain. And by letting them voluntarily engage in this type of behaviors, it is that you can also allow, I wouldn't say your whole society, but rather the part of society that is almost interested in properly growing into anywhere, to get those tools that they need. As, let's say like this, by knowing and by acknowledging that you need to deal with all of those things, and you need to face different challenges as that sort, many martial arts, yeah, I mean, the yes and no, because the problem of martial arts is also that so many of them are made with the idea of you need to be lethal. In the case you need to be lethal, when most of the time, as humans, you don't really have the necessity of being aggressive towards others. It only happens that, or sadly, what I had observed so far is we end up creating this cycle of you end up needing to be lethal, yeah, but the other guy also needs to be lethal, and because everyone needs to be lethal, then let's say like this: a guy sees you approach, sees that you are approaching him, and because he knows that he needs to be lethal, he also takes a defensive stance. And now, because you see that he took a defensive stance, you already know that you need to be lethal in case of something bad happening to you or your family. So it is in those occasions that you can, not that you can, kind of the opposite, you can really say if it was something good to study martial arts, because now properly trained, both, yeah, two men properly trained or two humans properly trained, almost in the vast majority of martial arts, to kill, not simply to defuse a human, but almost to kill them, you might as well be encountering an incredibly big problem. And it is in those occasions also that it becomes kind of negative to have all of that stuff happening, you know? And I don't know. It never stops being weird, because it also has to deal with another concept, that is the one of you might as well have the chance of de-escalating the conflicts and all of that. But are we really teaching stuff like that? I mean, in the martial arts sense, sadly, it happens that the most normal thing is to believe that you can't be peaceful, because if you decide to consider the other side as in the enemy, it's going to take advantage of that and is going to tear you apart almost. When most of the time it really doesn't happen that way, you know? It kind of happens in a completely opposite manner, let's say, because going back to what I said, both sides believed that it was necessary to be lethal and it was necessary to be aggressive and blah blah blah. So all of those things end up affecting the way in which both sides also interact with each other, and you know, kind of crazy to see it. Let's leave it at that. Kind of crazy to see it happening so much nowadays, at the very least. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I think, yeah. I mean, it is true, so I might as well say it. I am having an incredibly hard time not going back into the mental chip of, wow, how great it is to be alive. I think it was one of those gratefulness days, or something of that sort, but I don't know. I wouldn't say that they are not necessary, but we're doing something here that might not be the best moment for stuff like that to happen. Amen? Brain? Can we get something else? Yeah, I don't know. Let me drink water. Meanwhile, let me drink water. Okay, here we are. This particular thing that I just remembered. I heard about the concept of free public transportation. Not in the sense of, wow, completely alien to the whole society. Nobody in the world is doing something like that, but rather, I don't remember which country had it. And I know, not, no, I don't know, sorry, I don't know. I think it might as well be interesting to see it, and it might as well be interesting to try and have it existing everywhere for the sake of, seeing how society gets so many problems solved. Because the monetary, what is it, the monetary exertion that you need to have and the amount of cost that it represents to take any type of, yeah, any, whichever one it is, any type of transportation, even if it is public, that requires you to pay, and even more when you are struggling or dealing with different problems in your life, ends up representing an incredibly high cost. And if it isn't directly a high cost, the cost of maintenance or the cost through time is another one of those damaging costs, let's say. I mean, I don't know. I still go back to the idea of, in so many occasions, we end up dealing with, sadly, the consequences. Okay, I think I will do the Twitch sign before continuing with anything else. So, yeah. The concept itself of dealing so many times with whatever else that is related or not directly to, let's say, the concept itself of money that you can save for your own existence gets undervalued, at least on my eyes, because I mean, economically speaking, most of the time, or in most societies, going back to the wow, attacking societies, haha, funny, it happens that we don't really get taught how to properly do it. I mean, I remember having to talk about this particular concept when I was in school with a teacher about how incredibly hard it is to sustain oneself from the side of my teacher. When I remember, why would you need to have so many unnecessary things? Like, at that point in time, we didn't have that much of a good cable, of a good internet here, but rather we had good cable, as in good television. And the problem is, we didn't simply have good free television, we had paid free what? Paid good television. And it meant, and it also represented an incredibly high cost for everybody. Therefore, it ended up even more for the teacher itself being one of the things that costed him the most money. And he was arguing that, you know what, it is necessary to have it, and it is necessary to spend money on stuff of this sort, because you might as well, if you're going to be entertained, you might as well spend as much as you can to have a good entertainment, when in reality, I mean, I don't think it is necessary to spend that much simply on entertainment. You might want to go for something different, my man. And you might want to have something different existing than to simply entertainment, as not simply entertainment, rather entertainment for the sake of it. You're, I mean, it is an even deeper problem most of the time, because it also happened that, for example, with this case, this guy had some, yeah, I think it is true. He had some serious problems related to his weight. Sorry to say that, but yeah, he had some serious problems, and not some silly problems like, wow, he was heavier than normal. No. That guy had the last time that I saw him, I remember he needed to use, I think they are called buttons to walk. That was crazy to see because he decided to prioritize. Well, I mean that is the problem, my man. To have people like that so important to the rest of the world say stuff like that, and I do not want, as I said before, to attack the whole educational system. I don't think it is the solution in this case, or in any particular case. Most of the time, I mean, it really doesn't bring anything particularly good to do so. But at the very least, to be aware that it might as well be something interesting to realize that we still have those problems is good or interest, at the very least, interesting, let's say, as it allows you to see or to try and notice in so many conditions how you might as well deal with those problems in the future if you have to strip individuals from it, let's say, for example, because let's say like this, the idea itself of entertainment being so necessary to our whole existence might as well be predicated behind the concept of, as a human, you can't live with entertainment, thing that was created by the whole, in this case, we can say blob of entertainment industry itself, not by any particular face, not by any particular somebody, but by a blob of something that doesn't really have any real conscience whatsoever. It only wants, in this case, for example, money. Therefore, you might as well realize that what you're trying to defend doesn't really care about you, doesn't really have any opinion about you, because most importantly, or above anything else, it really is completely above you, and it is completely above any particular human existence that might or might not be put in this planet, let's say. So trying to defend it makes no sense when it does harm. If we're talking, I will say, for example, if we're talking about something like healthcare system, although it also has some problems, sadly, to say that quote unquote most of the things that it predicates are good is probably not an understatement. As at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, you can simply go into the evidence. If it was so wrong, then we might as well be dead nowadays. That is literally the best way to say, wow, really, do you believe that our healthcare system is wrong? Why are we not fucking there? You know, unless you bring the argument of, wow, but I am more necessary. Entertainment is necessary in some way, I think, but it doesn't necessarily have to come from outside of yourself, like TV. And yeah, I mean, yes, and not only it can not come from outside, but even if it were to come from outside, it can be incredibly more beneficial to think about entertainment as something that can be provided in any way whatsoever, instead of believing that it only has one particular form, as in, I don't know, if it isn't a show, it isn't the real entertainment. If I am not watching television, I am not really going to get entertained. Or, for example, something that I know has happened with kids of other families. I feel if it were to happen with my cousin, something like those new era kids believe that, or this new generation, sorry, believes that entertainment can come from something else that isn't, in their case, YouTube. So it is really damaging to, not even to a certain extent. It is really damaging to have beliefs like that. And at the very least, let's say, it might as well be true that entertainment can come from something that isn't YouTube, no? But, I mean, the same as with televisions, most of the times, there are incredibly more mindfully nutritious entertainment than to simply watch, what is it? Bob, what was it? I don't remember the name. I was going to say it. Bob the Builder, I think it was, or something like that. And even still, I decided to go for one of the tamest examples. I mean, not that common for a kid who can already speak, but some of them, for example, watch Teletubbies. Teletubbies. Wow, what an incredibly beneficial thing to watch. What a mind-blowing thing to watch, you know? And that is why I think in some cases we're failing. I mean, yeah, to believe that you have no necessity whatsoever over correcting those type of ideas might as well be not fulfilling your place in humanity. As I mean, you have no obligation, you know, but you also might as well not have no obligation whatsoever about saying how bad we are doing when you have the possibility of taking action in those type of situations, you know. You have no obligation whatsoever of doing anything, but what you decide to do and what you decide to not to do is what really speaks about you, not what is your obligations. I mean, if they weren't something that you're obliged to do, then you might as well not even pay attention to them. And when you decide to consciously pay attention to anything, it is that it really shows your character, I will say. But I don't know. I think I am talking too much completely unlogical things. I mean, not unlogical, but rather completely untrue to the potato character, let's say. As they sadly still are affected by that. I mean, I don't know. For example, in my case, I can accept the responsibility of I might not be even getting most of the time involved with my uh, cousin, because it happens that I think I think we tend to utilize so many excuses because people allows excuses to be a normal thing, let's say like that. And in my case, I do literally that. As it happens that when somebody tells you that it is okay to ignore a responsibility and it is okay to ignore something that you know is important, if it gets told once, you might as well question it. But if it gets told 100 times, then you, either from the lack of real understanding and real, in this case, fear of the outcome of neglecting this type of things, or from the real side of complete neglection of anything, of although you know them, you still decide to not take even a single ounce of action. It is also in those moments that you are kind of doing bad, let's say. But I don't think it always we're doing bad, we're doing negative or anything like that. I mean, one always tries to work on their problems, and to bombard anybody with the overwhelming reality of how bad they are doing is still not the solution. I mean, it it is a type of solution, yes, but it doesn't really fulfill the place of a proper solution compared to something that might as well build you up, as they say. But I don't know. I think, for example, yeah, in that sense, something very interesting is to see the excuse of, wow, you know, I am building character on you by being harsh with my words, and I am building character on your person by being as aggressive as I can. When you have no necessity whatsoever of being like that, and of conveying your ideas with so much angriness behind it. Also, why the fuck is there so much love? You see, are we okay? Yes, it seems we're okay. I don't know what is going on anymore sometimes. That it gets so like yeah, I think I will check something. Let me finish this. Okay. Or here. Okay. Let me see. I might as well have opened something of that sort, or yeah, I might as well have task manager. Let me do that. Task manager. Just in case. I think not that I think I hear it. My Windows PC fan is going incredibly fast. Also, for the amount of things that I already have open. Let me check. System interruptions. What? What? Okay. My browser is the problem. So let me see what I can close. Give me a second. What I might have opened that I don't need this shit. Close this. Close. Why do I have a new Windows? A new tab that literally has nothing on it. Why do I have it open? What was the point? What was I trying to achieve with that? What? What was it? What exactly was I trying to do with that? Man. Very nice to see it failing so much. Yeah, it got lowered. Yeah, it goes so incredibly better now. Man. Yeah, big brain moment, yeah. ah, but well, um, yeah, I still can't completely overcome the happiness that I felt for a moment. I mean, I don't know. I think let me try to say it like this. Probably it happens that the brain notices how much happiness you feel when you're grateful. So sometimes it decides to go back into that state, at least when you can consciously do it. That is why, in my personal case, I say that I am having such a hard time distracting myself from going back into it once again. But I don't think it is that bad, as in, wow, what a pain it is to be grateful. Rather, I mean, it is incredibly nice, and it is incredibly beneficial. At the end of the day, as I tried to say before, the different benefits that it gives to you are always nice, and it might as well be one of the best ways to stay hopeful. But I think, yeah, I think I am failing once again for the gratefulness trap. Let me change topic. I don't know what to say. Yeah, 221 streams. What a crazy thing. What a crazy thing it has been. Let me say like this. Well, I mean, it is too personal. I don't like to talk about so many personal stuff, but I didn't thought I was going to last so many streams almost uninterrupted as we have done so far. I think I only took like 3 days, 4 days so far in between each stream. Consciously, I think in some other occasions I had to take them as a consequence of, let's say, me having to, the constant thing of having to deal with life and having to deal with other situations and having to go out and so on and so forth. But yeah, aside from that, very, very well to see that we're still prevailing. I mean, who would have guessed that the whole travel of this unending thing that is to stream, to see that, for example, now, who would have guessed that I was going to spend like 5 to probably 7 streams doing a piece, quote unquote, of art and creating it and making it look nice to some degree, and to make it also try to be the best that it can for the sake of having it being the best that it can, and all of that stuff, very, very, I mean, very, very, very nice. I don't know. But yeah, also, my biggest condolences to everyone who creates art, my man. What a crazy thing it is. ah. Yeah. Can I be a little bit more negative? Can I ramble about something bad? Like, I don't know, death. I mean, we can try to go there, We can try to be a little bit nihilistic over here. I mean, who can say no? Who can stop me from really doing it? Who can rob me of the possibility of putting the fear of being alive on another mind? once again. No, no. I mean, it is also, it is literally the same, but not the same, the opposite of what just happened, and still, it still gets me emotional, so no, I might as well not. I don't know. I think, yeah, I am, not that I run out of topics, I think it simply happened that I entered into a mental wavelength that I wasn't expecting, let's say. So, kind of hard to get out of it. Let's also say, I mean, let's accept it, not say, let's accept that. But I don't know. I mean, yeah, let me say like this. Something different that I think can be properly said is how relaxing it is to feel and to draw and all of that. I wouldn't have expected to have such a relaxing time. However, I don't think I will feel some type of melancholy over not doing more drawing in the future, but it was enjoyable while it lasted, and it was very nice to ramble, and it was very also nice to utilize the mind as we did over here. Is this another form of gratefulness? Is this gratefulness? Did I fall for another one of the mental traps? Did I literally put a trap for myself to fall in? What is going on today? Is this the gratefulness stream? Is this it? Is this all I am going to become now? Can't I take out something not related to being grateful? Yeah, I always talk out stuff like that. That is the real question. Do I always talk out stuff related to being grateful? That is the real question. I think to a certain degree I do. I always try to stay positive. So it ends up happening that in some way or another I mention ways to stay grateful almost. Or ways to stay hopeful and ways to stay nicely oriented towards anything and ways to be happy basically. And all of that stuff, But I don't know. It's, as I said before, both paths that I have in front of me right now, I don't want to take them. I don't want either to be too grateful. I think it was already too much. I mean, I probably guess it makes the one who has to be grateful truly vulnerable. And vulnerability is incredibly hard to show. Even more in this way, let's say. I don't know. I think it gets boring. Also, that is another reason as to why I try to avoid it. As I mean, what I said before, it is incredibly easy to say, "Wow, I am grateful," but can you really experience what I am saying, my man? Can you really feel it? Can you make sense out of my words? They will say, or something like that. But I don't know. At the very least, we are here trying to work towards anything. So yeah, very nice. I mean, but yeah, going back into the question itself, I guess it is kind of unavoidable as I try to stay positive and all of that, but both paths feel kind of not so interesting today. As I mean, yeah, okay. I lost myself there. Vulnerability. That was the proper point that I was talking about. It is truly hard to be like that, and it is truly hard, even more. I mean, yeah, there is literally no way to hide it as a man. There is no desire whatsoever about being vulnerable to anybody. So yeah, even more to do it out of nowhere here feels weird, to say the least. Feels incredibly weird. So yeah, I don't know. Food. What is going on, my man? I'm trying to find stuff, and I think my brain got stuck in that loop of being happy. or something of that sort. I don't know. It is weird to see it. I think I have never noticed that sometimes I enter in a state in which I can only think about nice stuff or something like that. I I will even be preoccupied because I don't know if I am ignoring things that are truly more important. Like, okay, let me see. For example, here, we are lagging, my man. I am incredibly lagging, and I don't even know why it happens that I am lagging so much. And I am not even paying attention to that, something that might as well be my biggest worry right now. Instead of saying, wow, how great we are, I should be worrying about it. But rather, we are here saying, wow, how nice is editing, and how nice we are doing. How, wow. I guess, okay, yeah, I guess that is one of the few problems that it has to be grateful. That you become blind about the real problems that you have. And that is also why it is kind of necessary to not be so grateful about everything, or to not live in a complete state of gratefulness. Because if you were to live in a state like that, you wouldn't really realize what are the situations in which you need to work on, because you will settle with everything that you already have, and you will also think that it is necessary for you to not work on any particular thing, as you almost tell to yourself that it is all alright as it already is. So yeah, I don't know, kind of crazy to see it like that. I will guess, but yeah, at the very least, we finally changed topics, and we finally are leaving that mental trap hole that I set up for myself somehow. So yeah, anyways, we have finished coloring this. Let me try to choose a proper color for this now. I think something of this sort, or if it is like that, something of this sort. Does it look too shiny? No. Okay. One of the few problems that I think we are going to have is to make it. Okay, is this still not? Okay, this isn't shiny. Yeah, this is nice. This is nice. Okay, this is. I hope it is going to be visible from outside, but we're going to make this the color of the letters, and we are going to keep working on it after this upcoming break, because I want to go eat something else. Or not that I want, I need to eat my daily fruit, thing that I didn't do and think that I already got told to go and do. So yeah, I don't know. Here we are. Once again, observing everything and being happy about it, you know? So yeah, let me, as I said, let me for anything else, try to take the break. Yeah, let me transition. Okay, here. Yeah, we're going to take a break. We're going to take like 5 minute break or something like that. Let me try to set up this. Well, I mean, it is not going to be a 5 minute break. I have to eat. I don't know how much it is going to take me to eat. And even more with this, it is a pitch, I think, there. And yeah, so it will take me some time. Anyways, that's, I will go on to that. Meanwhile, remember to stretch. If you haven't done so, remember to stay hydrated, just in case. Remember to properly, I don't know, thanks for being here still. Uh, Something else that I should be saying? No, right? I think, I hope, I wish I am not forgetting anything. So anyways, yeah. Let me here. Let me transition into here. Tools, scripts. It is, yeah. Reset. Start. Okay. Yeah. Let me transition into here. 5 minutes break, and after that, we are going to get back here. Or well, probably more than 5 minutes. I mean, I don't know how much it will take me to eat a beach. Anyways, ciao. Stay well until Yeah, I guess I am incredibly far behind what I said I was going to take. Anyways, here we are. Well, welcome back, everybody. Here we are continuing. I guess I will. Yeah, I forgot to make about timestamps. The one. No, I forgot to do first the timestamp of I am leaving, and second the timestamp of I am back. So I might as well have failed. No. Anyways, I mean, it's kind of intuitive, no? That if you see in a board, okay. We can still salvage this marker. Break end. Yeah, this is so good. This is so amazing. This is where the amazing break finishes. So welcome back, everybody. Also, both watchers. I don't know. Now let me go back into here. Puzzle, yeah. Which register this as a window, please. Now let me delete this. Let me remove this. Boom. And well, I hope we have literally no necessity whatsoever of dealing with anything mod related, because I might as well not have the possibility of doing so. Let us continue. Transition. And now we are over here. We were over here. Also, something that I think happened is this color was different over here. Let me see that. Or it was a visual illusion. What was it? I'm going crazy. Let me examine this. No. It seems to change color when you're far behind or something like that. I don't know. I guess pixel comparison or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, going back to here. We have to continue with coloring. I hope this color particularly is good enough to fill all of the voids that are related to the Twitch part that is supposedly facing up front. No, quote unquote the camera. So yeah, basically that. I was thinking, okay, let me go back to this. I think it happens that the brain gets stuck in those type of cycles. I was thinking about that particular situation which we had with the whole gratefulness and so on. I think it happens that the brain notices that you are, in some cases, struggling, I would say, or not simply struggling, but rather dealing with different types of stuff. And because of that reason, it is that your brain directly decides to resource itself towards those solutions that are related to overwhelm the brain with it. And I mean, I was also thinking what I said last time about gratefulness being a way of not really progressing in life, when I don't know if it works like that. I mean, it might as well be simply a problem of trying to discredit gratefulness, because you can still have a name while being grateful for whatever it is that you have. As in a sense, yeah, let's say like this, it doesn't really make you have less of an aspiration about anything whatsoever. It simply makes you notice that what you have is incredibly great for the sake of achieving those particular aspirations, and is more than anything else much more than what you could have imagined in some other occasions, that you will not, you will undoubtedly keep doing it as much as you can. As in a sense, I mean, why not? What is the real objection behind it, But I don't know. Overall, it still is hard to practice that, whichever kind of reason is behind it. And also, I have been drawing so much with this. Let me leave the mouse for a second, okay? Because I committed an error and I can't. Watch this. Haha! Almost everything gets deleted. I didn't notice that. I noticed the moment in which I realized that I had committed an error. So yeah, let me pick, I think this one. This one should be solid. Nah! This one is solid, yeah. Over here. I mean, probably nobody is literally going to notice, but anyways. Let me try to go, no, here. This one is, yeah, okay. I don't know. To create art is very amazing, and to be spending time on it is also very amazing, I will guess. I mean, the time that it gave me to think was still incredibly nice, I will say. And even more to, probably in that sense, I will really, now I can properly say that it works as a type of meditation. Because most of the time, in other occasions, what I did was only put my imagination into work to create what I wanted to make itself into an image. After that, I made that image something into a canvas, but in the process, I didn't really think, I didn't really utilize my mind for anything else. I heard some music, I heard some entertainment, type of audio or video, if it was possible, and all of that stuff ended up making it be not so enjoyable as this was, I would guess, but I don't know. I guess, in a sense, yeah. Sadly, we're still predicating that talking by yourself is incredibly bad, when in reality it might as well be one of the biggest benefits that we have as a society, or as a thinking race, let's say, as a thinking species, the capacity of discussing with your own self different stuff. Because, not to say it negatively, but most of the time this literally is a potato against the void screaming. And even more because, sadly, and I can completely understand from that point of view, things that I talk about are kind of hard to not grasp as, wow, advanced concepts. No, they are hard to grasp because what I talk about comes from a real place of, okay, but this is like this. And this has also all of these other implications that might as well be so hard to follow that you will spend so much time trying to unravel what I am talking about, not because it is complex by itself, because it simply happened that I deal with already complex ideas that others created, and by doing so, it is that it ends up being incredibly hard to digest for everybody in that sense. I mean, yeah, I might as well be kind of at fault here. I can't lie about it, that most of the time I know that I don't properly explain stuff as good as I could, but I don't know. We're still trying to work on it, and to notice how much we're having problems with it is very nice. I mean, it took me like, how many, 50 or so streams. 50, I wish it was 50, like 100 or so streams to properly see that I might as well have could have an interest over using something like a chalkboard or a whiteboard or whatever to explain my ideas a little bit better, as in a sense it also means that you can see it more properly, and that you can more visually guide yourself around the different things that I talk about. And for example here, something that I can completely understand is things get kind of hard to follow, as it sadly happens that what I am explaining almost never gets properly put into an image, and you have to guess what I am talking what I am talking about, because it means not that it really is impossible to envision, but rather that my particular vision might not be shared with your mind, and therefore you have to create one that might disrupt the learning process, as it doesn't really have all of the different implications that the original vision of any concept has. I mean, but I wouldn't know if it is completely negative as I try to make it. It's simply, yeah, I might as well be simply justifying this, but it also allows those who are hearing it to exert their brains themselves instead of getting told every single thing, and almost having to sit down and say, wow, time to learn. I come to Twitch to fucking learn instead of getting entertained. So yeah, I don't know, kind of nice to see it from that point of view, I guess. Also, yeah, I think I can use that much the 6 size here. Let me use 3. Yeah, kind of hard here. But anyways, going back into what I tried to talk about before. I was thinking, and I realized, or not that I realized, as in, wow, I had a relation. Simply, I finally remember one of the few explanations as to why feeling vulnerable, at the very least as a man, is incredibly hard. And I mean, it happens. Okay. Thank God I said that. Now I can remember. Supposedly it only happens as a man. In reality, it happens with both genders. Because on the men's, we have a tendency of nowadays only accepting sadness and anger at the very best. Or well, kind of the opposite. Anger and at the very best sadness. And from women, we accept more than anything else sadness. Even most of the time it is even weird to think that a woman is going to get angry at anything. And to have those different types of belief discrediting constantly what is part of the dialogue that is getting told to you really makes it hard to grasp anything. And even more, not hard to grasp whatever it is that whoever is talking about, but rather to properly understand what they might be talking about, because in the way of the message, it is getting your preconception of, wow, this is kind of dangerous, how can this be happening right here? You might as well be not doing the best thing, my man, when in reality it only is. And a state that everybody goes through. The different array of emotions, whichever one it is, grief, anger, sadness, in some places, lust, in happiness, all of those things are really hard to not have as a human being, as long as your brain functions properly. And by trying to avoid them and to make them not exist, it is that you really also negate yourself the possibility of truly experiencing them. Not of truly experiencing them, of truly experiencing life more than anything else. Because on the highest sense of this, it happens that if you were to remove such type of emotions and motivations, you might as well be robbing you yourself of the possibility of enjoying all of this. As it happens that, I don't know if it is sadly or not, but it happens that you need all of those different stimulus to keep moving forward, to keep doing what you want to do the most, So yeah, very, very amazing. Very, very good to see it like that. And to realize that, well, no, kind of the opposite. Sadly, it means that we have an understanding about the problem, but we don't have an understanding about the solution. You can't really impose on people that they should now start to accept all of those emotions. For example, on the men it is understood, that their default negative emotion is anger, when in reality everything else is really also part of their array of emotions. And nowadays we're getting only accustomed to the possibility of them also feeling sadness, when all of the other types of emotions might as well be still not only ignored but even ashamed. As for example, it is kind of hard to say to others that you have anxiety, for example, or that the biggest type of threat is always to say that you have depression, because I think in that sense, sadly, depression also takes a place in the mind of the one who is depressed, as making them believe that whoever they talk about it, if they don't replicate exactly with the words that they want to hear, they are being discredited, sadly, particularly in the case of depression. So yeah, particular depression is kind of hard to see, because it also happens that in the male case, you can't even say something like that, because supposedly a man's life shouldn't have so many dark events to take you into a depressed state. I mean, for example, we are more capable of accepting stuff like that if we're told that somebody is going through a rough time, quote unquote, as in they lost somebody dear to them, they lost somebody who they loved, they lost their shop, they lost something. Commonly, they are grieving. Sorry for not using the proper term. Or if also we can realize that they are, in any sense whatsoever, dealing with this particular new thing and all of that stuff. Like, for example, depression created by the anxiety that you get from life and all of that. But I don't know. It is still weird, as I wanted to say more. It is still weird that we are struggling with it. As I mean, I think, well, I mean, yeah. In a sense, it is kind of dangerous to release the floodgates of emotions into the whole world, because we had been truly believing that they weren't necessary and that they literally played no role whatsoever in our lives, when in reality, whichever kind of emotion you had was more than anything else a necessary thing for you to have, as it provides you with a proper knowledge about the different states in which you are, as in if you're dealing properly with problems, if you're now encountering more dangerous situations, if you're finding good in anything, if you're struggling, if you're doing great, if you're doing bad, whatever it is that happens. And sadly, it also exists inside of it the correlation, or not sometimes, of you having to see and having to realize and to accept that sadly your life needs all of those emotions, and to believe that you might as well leave them behind for I mean, that is the weird thing. You don't even have a good reason as to why you don't want emotions. You simply accept the idea of, wow, now somebody told to me that emotions are bad. Therefore, or not now, sadly it happens since we're childs. Therefore it is that we believe that emotions are a negative thing to have, not an unnecessary thing to have, when most of the time we simply want to do what others tell us is the best thing. And if we get told that, having any type of emotion is good or is bad, then it is that we believe it's not that we experience it firsthand or anything like that. I mean, for example, okay, one of the few examples that exist and is at the very least very nice to have is you can experience depression, and when you experience depression, you never want to go back to it if you're capable of pulling yourself out of it. But I know. Okay. Let me do this properly. Okay. It happens that when you have something like depression or anxiety or those type of negative, truly negative emotions, you also realize the incredibly bad thing that is to have them. So it is also in those moments that you start to wish to aim and to orient yourselves towards the paths of this, the path in which you are going to encounter less this type of emotions. I mean, the problem is also, in this case even more, we lack a proper understanding about it. Not in the sense in which it doesn't make any particular sense whatsoever, but rather that we lack a proper understanding about it for the sake of not having to deal with any particular problem whatsoever, as it allows you to orient yourself towards a gooder objective by getting rid of the particularly bad emotion, let's say. And I don't know. I will kind of argue that sometimes it sadly happens. We truly believe it isn't necessary for us to work on any particular emotion, whatever, when in reality most of the emotions that we feel are the best way for our mind to remind us that we might as well be dealing with this particular type of situation and all of that stuff, you know. So we might as well pay attention to it, see how it is that we can deal with it, and if we can get it solved, then we solve it, not to ignore whatever it is that we are feeling for the sake of, wow, you know what, I might as well not pay it any particular attention, you know, my man. But yeah, crazy, basically crazy. Okay, does it look great? It doesn't look bad at the very least, I will say. So let me once again choose this. 3. But yeah, I mean, going back into this whole topic was, in most cases, we don't really allow different people to express different type of negative emotions because we end up shaming them. And I mean, my conclusion was also, it might as well have to deal with the problem that arises from letting those floodgates be open. I mean, if I didn't learn about it, I couldn't have believed that mental disease is something that also spreads around the world. Like, I think it was, you can have waves of bi bipolar polarity disorder. No, by bipolar identity disorder or something like that. You can also have waves of schizophrenia. You can also have waves of, what is this particular thing called? Um, Anxiety also. So all of those things are very interesting to see because it also guides you to maybe try to understand what happens that we suppress, or we have a tendency towards suppressing emotions, as it might as well be real that, you know, we don't want them to exist in our world. Therefore, we do our best to not have them existing in any particular way. And by doing so, it is that we kind of sadly also deal with the consequence of, you know what, all of these things that are related to emotions get suppressed. Because I mean, mental maturity has to deal also with emotions. The more you can intake any particular type of emotion, the more you can process it without getting yourself destroyed in the process, the more you can grow. While on the other hand, if you are to truly believe that no having emotions or having no emotion whatsoever is beneficial for you, and you were to truly make it an statement that you constantly abide to your life by, sorry, you will end up kind of getting stuck in a situation in which your mental growth gets limited because sometimes you need to deal, for example, with the emotion itself of pain. As in some cases, it happens that, yeah, pain is physical, but in some others, it happens that pain is mental. And for example, the pain of having to accept that what you were saying or what you were doing was wrong is one of the most comprehensible ones. And if you are not willing to let that pain get a hold of you and understand also the consequence of allowing it to keep existing, then it is that you not progress anymore in life in any particular way. But I don't think it is as negative as I made it sound in some way. It rather happens that most of the time we find ourselves simply submerged in all of these emotions that end up guiding us towards something or guiding us against something. Simply we wish to know which ones are the best, which ones are the worst, and by simple testing and afterwards discarding of those that don't seem as useful as those who seem useful, it is that we can properly try to make sense out of the reality in which we live more than anything else. But yeah, I don't know, very crazy so far. Mm, I think I was going to say, I think I'm running low on battery. I don't know if that statement is true, or rather that I am still being wary about the possibility of falling once again onto, well, gratefulness dilemma that we have already had to deal with this last occasion. So yeah, I don't know. I will try now that I made this, not this particular thing over here. I will try to make them, for example, this color. I will think more proper than to have, or more proper to have than simply this gray, so inhuman and so completely unnatural to the whole composition. But maybe not. I don't fully know which thing I want to go for so far. In that sense, let me see. I think it is solely this color. Mm, yeah. Okay. Let me do this. Let me try to drink water first and foremost. Let me try to drink fucking water. Sorry, kind of crazy to see that the world is moving so fast in some senses, and in some others, everything else is going so slowly. And I have realized that, for example, this year is probably feeling so long in a sense because I think the busy mind decides to focus so much on the different supposedly important questions that the rest of what should be important gets discarded. And what should be important more than anything else, balance itself, the balance that is needed to have in life, gets discarded for the sake of achieving those goals that we set. And that is why I find it kind of to be true what I was saying before, that we end up having some incredibly big problems on the sense of we don't really deal that well with any particular emotion whatsoever. Emotion was any time measurement whatsoever. But I don't know. I would still think or try to say that they might as well be the most beneficial things to have, as in a way to simply see yourself dealing with something and to simply find yourself occupied on something is worth enough already. The time that you're spending on it. I guess, yeah, the only problem is still to constantly have to assess if what you're doing is the best compared to what you would be doing. But yeah, I think I already said it. Most of the time, you already know which thing is the best, and if you can consistently enough orient yourselves towards what you know is the best and do it, it is then that you end up having or achieving one of the highest levels of happiness. Also, because who wouldn't want to do what they know is necessary for the world? Who will decide that consciously that they need to not participate in the whole world in which they reside, my man? But yeah, I don't know, very crazy. Let me do it like this. Okay. Also, I have been trying to put my mind in place, and I have been trying to properly make sense out of the idea of those who are crazy, because I saw it and I was thinking about it as, for example, I had the last mental lapsus an hour or so ago with all of the happy maxing, let's say. And it happens that I believe most of the time those who are crazy might as well be right. But after experiencing something like that, I can say to you how weird it is to realize that you are almost losing it in a sense, because I didn't want to do something like that, and even less in such a random moment. Not because it is unenjoyable, but rather because it comes so out of nowhere that it takes a hold of you, I would guess. Yeah, it might as well be related to, for example, something like, I don't know, being truly crazy. I mean, like, not being artistically crazy, or what is it, visionarily crazy, but rather on the type of I see shadows where there are no crazy, I think. And that is when one might get preoccupied with their existence, you know? Kind of horrible to see that out of nowhere you are having a problem and you can do anything to solve it whatsoever. But I mean, different problems also have that same type of description. For example, a panic attack, if you have never experienced one at least once in your life, sorry, you might as well believe that they are not so harmful, when in reality, literally a panic attack makes you feel like you're going to die. As easy as that, and not going to, you become aware of your own mortality type of going to die. The type of, okay, you're going in the next 5 seconds to uh, drop there, that type of die. And that is when things stop being in any way funny. But yeah, I don't know. Okay, we have Twitch, we have we have everything else. I will, for example, something that we could try to do is to leave it like how it looks right now, and it will be completely responsible to do so. But it will still look fine, I think, compared to everything else. As in a sense, for example, the concept itself of a city is still there, and the concept of Twitch being what Potato is watching is still there. But in reality, it also happens that probably another problem that I don't want to deal with is the problem itself of noticing that it lacks more proper structure behind it. So yeah, I don't know. I had been, I don't know if I said it or not. I wanted to make a tree. I'm thinking about how to integrate a tree into this particular scenery. Yeah, I don't know. I have these different. We have still 4 buildings to fill with stuff. Okay. We're going to do this one first. This one over here. Let me use a 4. Okay. Nice. Well, I wanted to say, sometimes it feels on the same line of crazy. It feels, or not on the same line of that type of craziness, simply talking about crazy. It feels crazy to see that we can learn so much and we can hold so many knowledge about so many different topics. It is kind of overwhelming to realize that we all might have the possibility of becoming literally a beast capable of, not simply capable of learning, as one would say, but rather capable of understanding so many things and defending yourself almost against any type of argument that you don't resemble what you were before. That is what I guess can be said about the different types of, wow, it feels weird to be so capable of dealing with all of this stuff, and similar things that get said commonly. But I wouldn't say it is simply negative. It just happens that it exists like that, and you can't do anything to avoid it happening, and you simply try your best to not have it happen in a negative way. Rather, you simply do what you can to let knowledge fill you and let knowledge occupy as much space as it can in your memory. Yeah, I mean, one of the probably biggest problems of this is to see that you sometimes also lose knowledge, but for example, to properly learn about how you can hold it is also another incredibly nice lesson about knowledge itself. Because, for example, you can worry yourself about doing it, and you can worry yourself about properly letting all of the different type of times and so on and so forth be what occupies your mind more than anything else. That when you realize it, you have created so many tools that they can, and not only tools that can leave your mental space, that you ended up having an incredibly wide array of things to utilize in an incredibly wide array of situations too. But I don't know, kind of crazy to see it from that way. I mean, it never stops being crazy, you know? Let's say like that. It never stops being crazy. And yeah, I don't know why I find myself out of nowhere so tired. I am not going to say sadly. At the very least, we did this edifice. I might as well try to finish this one in particular before leaving, or at the very least this phase of this building before leaving. Yeah, I already have an idea about what I want to do, so let me try to do it. I hope it doesn't take that long. It is only lines, simple lines that I should do. And I might as well want to utilize the ruler tool, but yeah, so far I will keep myself from doing so. I guess. Anyways, aside from that, I have, yeah, one of the few things that I can also say hasn't abandoned my mind was the concept of the Mahabharata. Man, what an interesting book. I want to keep reading it, and I wish I could make multiple days of the week only Mahabharata reading sessions, but I know they are kind of unbearable to watch when the story itself isn't even that catching for some people. So yeah, that is why I try to keep them kind of diluted between other stuff, and I allow myself to simply take one complete day of Mahabharata readings, but the rest of the time I don't even allow it. So yeah, I don't know, kind of crazy to see it like that. And now I didn't notice that it was going to look like this in a way, because I remember already seeing buildings like this that don't have. I was going to try and do those different kind of blocks, but I haven't seen it like this in a long time. And now that I remember, they also existed like this. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't look that bad. You can get that it is a big building by having them separated enough, and you can also make it look kind of nice by having these patterns all over the place. So yeah, let me do it like that rather. But okay, yeah. I don't know why I got so tired. That is another thing that I want to repeat. I don't know what happened. I guess the heat has kind of taken control over me. As in, I went outside and I found myself kind of melting, you know? It was so much more hot than what I could have anticipated. It was kind of depressing moment to go outside. I really wanted to eat a fruit, and I didn't expect it to be so hot. But anyways, once again, at the very least, we're here, and we're back to progressing with this a little bit more. Yeah, okay. Let me try to finish this, and I guess over here. And yeah, with this we're kind of done so far. I will try to guess. I don't know. Okay, I don't have anything particularly over here on this building. I guess we might as well not put anything for the sake of leaving it be. Kind of a very simple building, that one. But this one is what is puzzling me the most. I guess Okay, let me try to find a proper shade of red that feels like those very reds, let's say. I guess it is over here, no? Very red, very red, very red. This one? Something like this, I think. Let me see. Is this even red? Wait. Is this even red? Is this even a red? Oh my fucking god. Too big. Is this red? Can you guess that it is a red? I mean, I think this is a type of red that I saw in some buildings in my city. I think. If not, okay. Let me make it a little bit whiter and closer to red itself, like over here. Is this okay? This is more appropriate. Yeah. This is more appropriate. Okay. With that, I also have an idea about what I want to do here. I guess it is going to be a problem, the whole perspective side of this, as it takes some time to put it properly into play, but I don't know. I might as well enjoy doing it rather than to complain about what I am literally willingly doing. So yeah, I don't know, very crazy to see that we are progressing with all of this stuff once again. Well, I don't know. I guess I will try to open also, finally, now that we are kind of reaching an end in some sense. I am going to open up once again this beautiful browser so that I can keep checking what I forgot to check for like half an hour or so. I mean, happily enough, it tends to be a common thing that I don't have to worry myself about anything. Happily enough. I mean, I wouldn't know what to do if I needed to, for example, have a constant mode checking everything, as some people need to have them, you know? I prefer to have this amount of calmness rather than the whole agitation made from a very populated place, at least for now, in our training arc, quote unquote. Let me import this, and this is the proper color, or is this one? No, this isn't the one. This one is okay. And also let me try to make this particular line thinner, yeah? Yes, kind of, okay. And also over here. Okay. Okay, let me try to finish coloring this wall, my man. Wait, I mean, I get angry about something that I am doing kind of wrong, you know? Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to push myself that hard, but at the same time, I don't want to leave so early. As I mean, there is literally no necessity whatsoever of me going to sleep so early. I guess the only impressing and amazing thing was that I started streaming very early today myself. So that is why I'm trying to go for a bigger push than what I normally tend to do. As I mean, we have time. We really have no pressure whatsoever. But I don't know. I guess in that sense, it is also important to be wary about the fact of not properly resting. I mean, at some point I remember I had been, I don't remember which one of the weeks it was, but I slept like overall, I think it was around, in a whole week, let's say 20 hours or so, I had slept. And I felt incredibly dizzy. I felt truly dreamy. I think there is a kind of potential behind being in such a state, but still, it was kind of dangerous, you know? And the biggest consequence of that is still that, sadly, your brain produces very harmful substances on everything. A very harmful substance that affects everything, more properly to say. And I don't know. I think to try and not have them working like that is very beneficial. In a sense, you can avoid killing yourself by properly resting, let's say. But I don't know. I don't think simply staying some more hours up is that negative compared to truly losing your whole sleep through so much time. But once again, let me repeat it, I don't know. Yeah, let me finish this hole over here. And okay, now let me see. Wait, we were properly using the type of color that I want to know. Yeah. Okay. I guess. I mean, for example, I could make it on the what is it? On the roof. I mean, sleep theft is real. You can't escape it. Yeah, I mean, sadly, you can't in any possible way. But it happens that to a degree, you can see ways to not have it affect you so much, let's say. As you can try your best to not have so many debts with your own body, so that when you have to pay that debt, you can, for example, simply take a nap. Something that I think gets constantly overlooked, opposed to something more truly beneficial, like going directly for an 8-hour sleep. Because, I mean, I think it has to deal also with the fact of how much you change your whole sleeping schedule. But nowadays I can't even try to have an 8-hour nap. Or not that I can try. If I were to have an 8-hour nap, I will feel very, very, very tired after that. Because my whole circadian rhythm has been adapted to I wake up after a 6 to 5 hour night of sleep, and after that in the meal I take a 1 to 2 hour nap in the day. But I mean, also it is so varied like that, because for example, I am trying to not die in the middle of the heat that is here in this particular place of the world, that is Argentina in the summer, something truly, truly exhausting. But yeah, I mean, very enjoyable anyways. The things that you can experience by being sleepy, that is what I was trying to say before, are very interesting. Because when you're trying to be creative, your mind wanders to places that you might as well have never visited before. If you were to kept negating from you that possibility. But I don't know. People sometimes get too worried about different things that might as well be more potentially good than bad. I mean, for example, I have just recently learned about this. Something that doesn't really have to deal with sleep, but something that is related to something that before was seen as good, nowadays is finally being observed as potentially dangerous. The amount of testosterone that in this case, the male, the one who has more predominant testosterone, has that amount of hormones end up being damaging to the body. And supposedly trying to regulate it and trying to keep it low should be something that we should be worrying ourselves with, instead of trying to take as much as we can. Because it changes so many things that you end up being hurt by the consequences of it. And not saying it because I also, happily enough, I can relate from the side of having seen people that says, wow, but you're telling me to become, I don't know, this is a psyop, you're telling me to become literally a kid. No. Simply to not have it so incredibly high, to not maximize into every single one of the levels possible how much testosterone you are producing, because it ends up being that so many things are in play with that, and you're probably, I mean, yeah, the most common problem always is, if you were to be properly taking care of it with a professional next to you, you might as well not worry about any particular consequence. But because we mostly act based on knowledge that we find somewhere else and utilize it in our singular lives without ever asking others is kind of dangerous. That is where it really gets dangerous. But I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that is what I said. Becoming a fanboy for my health. That is the problem. Because I I understand that it is a joke, but sometimes you say that, and I mean, older people, for example, can't understand. Not that much old, but rather 30 to 40 years old tend to have a problem with understanding that, yeah, you're harming your health by deciding to have hormone replacements, not replacements, supplements, sorry. I think replacements are the ones related to all of those operations that we might as well not discuss. I think, sorry for mentioning them. What the fuck I am saying? What the fuck I am saying? I am going to get fucking cancer because I am sleepy. Yeah. And yeah, basically that's you can keep it low to a certain degree to which you are completely functional as a male, and also you're not putting your health in risk. That is the funny part of it, because I don't remember properly what was the most dangerous one of the factors, but overall is related to what is also considered the good things, like what the fuck is this black pixel here? This I got broke by the way. I was touching my screen and trying to remove that thing. I was believing it was something like a mark created by a bug or something like that. And it seems that no, I was wrong. Happily enough. Anyways, we have this colored. Later on, I guess I'm going to make it a real suite or something like that. Probably it will be similar to this building with a different type of vibe still, because I think I will try to make it look like one of those brick built buildings. I don't know how I will do it, taking into consideration that I need to do more than anything else, add finer details, something that I already failed once to do over here. I think I see it as a failure, this one. So yeah, I don't know. But anyways, let me first and foremost transition into here so that I can properly save this without worrying, because I learned that it doesn't crash as much, or does not that it doesn't crash. It doesn't take as much time as it did the other time if I save without having it focus. I don't know particularly why it happens like that, but yeah. You save? Yeah. Okay. Let me now once again swap back to here, transition. I guess the next thing to do will be, I was thinking about it, and I will probably use these colors. I don't know that much why is it supposedly necessary to recycle colors, but I will use this to create something like a tree over here, and we're going to probably embark in the arc of me creating a tree and having to create 50,000 different types of leaves around it to make it look nice and to look more like a tree instead of a fucking random blob, because that is one of the few things that I really hate, to see blobs that should can be interpreted as trees. Like for example, I remember the types that I hate the most is the wow, this here is a tree, you know? This is a tree. This what you're seeing here is a tree. I hate it. I completely hate it. I don't know. I guess I am kind of negative so far. But yeah, anyways. Now, let me first and foremost open my browser. Because I close it for the sake of not lagging so much, my man. But yeah, I guess, yeah, we're kind of sadly reaching an endpoint, and also happily enough reaching an endpoint after so much time being here, my man. Very nice to keep progressing towards something and to keep putting our efforts toward any particular goal as we are doing here. And slowly but surely it is taking form, and it is becoming more and more shaped towards something that will. I wish my best. I don't know. I have been also thinking about it. If it is necessary to think about how much you can see the greatness on things and believe that it is, let's say, good or not. Because I see that it happens that sadly, in the most of the occasions, you believe that you should get something because you put effort behind it. As in, I am doing this, for example, to create afterwards Twitter thread for the sake of having more clear stuff overall. And in that same sense, it is that I also try to constantly remember that it might as well fail astronomically, not simply fail astronomically. So yeah, being humble basically. But I don't know. At the very least it is going fine, and we haven't had that many problems. And although I am not that much, no, sorry, I am not an artist. We are doing great enough so that we can see it existing and we can see it being beautiful enough to believe that it is great, let's say. Well, I don't know. Why are there so many different so many different options? Oh no, option paralysis. Why does this term even exist? Why I can't literally choose the most random thing and not have to worry about anything else, my man? Yet there is too many people. What is going on? Isn't it today at Monday / Tuesday already? So I guess, why is there so many people alive? What is going on, man? How many? Man, this is crazy. Trying to choose is a real concept. Yeah, I hate to choose. Why isn't there a tool to randomly choose who to raid instead of putting the pressure on me, my man? I guess we have somebody doing special events, therefore it is a special event. So yeah, we're going to raid into somebody doing, as I said, special events. So yeah, anyways, before I fall asleep here, we are going to close here. We're going to give this a closure, and we're going, in this case, to let me first and foremost do this / raid. We're going to raid into Diadamandis, who is, I think he was doing a merge, yeah, with his previous story / live, however you call it. Sorry for not being so proper with terms. And now seeing how all of it merges finally. And well, aside from that, thanks for being here, thanks for watching, thanks for lurking, thanks for all the beautiful gifts that are born from this constant struggle that is to stream, let's say. As always, thanks. Yeah, thank you. Also, Klondike. Thanks. I think I also said, but I am fucking sleepy. Thanks for looking, thanks for watching the VOD, thanks for chatting, thanks for everything, for allowing this to keep existing. Thanks particularly today to Chen / Blue Whistle, Klondike, Masbroke, who else? I know I am losing somebody in the middle. Holy fucking god, who is it? Fabricant, who else? Is there somebody else? No, I think not. So, well, anyways, aside from that, also remember to stay safe, remember to stay hopeful, remember to be grateful about things, remember to stay hydrated, and remember to rest properly. And well, now we're reading who Demand is doing what special events. Thanks for everything. Holy fucking god, I forgot to post this. Do I have? No, I don't have fucking done. I fucking failed. Sorry, everybody. Right. Nah, goodbye. I